Hello, everyone. Welcome to CME Pop Trivia. Oh, let me bring up these slides here that we got to go through. There we go. This is our CME Pop Trivia session. Session is sponsored by Medscape and cash prizes sponsored by Haymarket. They're not actually cash prizes. I think we were doing gift certificates for Amazon. I don't know why it's the cash prizes there, but anyway, that's what we got. So, of course, our sponsors, my paper so I can read them. Our gold sponsors, Daiichi Sankyo, PER, Academic CME. Our silver sponsors, turn the page, Peer Audience, Medscape Education, Clinical Care Options, PCE, HME, Haymarket Medical Education, Helio CME, we're running too fast, Projects and Knowledge, Platform Q Health Education. Get a drink out of my bottle. I did that, Brian. Take some notes. Bronze sponsors, PVI, Catalyst Medical Education, CMEology, Academy for Continuing Healthcare Learning, Vindico Medical Education, Paradigm, Postgraduate Institute for Medicine, Global Education Group, CE Outcomes, Integrity Continuing Education, Answers in CME, RMEI, one more page. Oh, I didn't. Sorry. There they are. Okay. And the second page, Access Medical Education, MedIQ, Integritas, InfoGraph Free CME, MedLearning Group, Primary Care Network, Prova Education, RedMed Ed, Peer Voice, and CME Outfitters. All right. How to ask questions. It's the same as it's been. You can use our free CME text line to send in a question, 267-6660-CME. You can also tweet your question using the CME Palooza hashtag. I'm not going to lie. I don't know how many questions I'm going to get to if you have questions. I'm doing a lot during this, but I will do my best if you have questions. Speaker disclosure, opinions, discussions, and or conclusions expressed are those of our panelists and do not represent an endorsement by or a position of their employer, its parent company, or affiliates. Here we go. How to play. Yay. We actually have some people online. So that's great. So we are using Poll Everywhere, which I think hopefully you've already used today. You can either do this by downloading the app, the Poll Everywhere app, and use CME Palooza 000, or you can put the URL into your web browser at the URL that's up here, polleverywhere.com/CME Palooza 000. Both of those will work fine to do this, but you do have to use it if you want to play in the game. Otherwise, it won't really work. All right, the rules. Some things I want to make sure that there will be 20 questions. Actually, there's 21 questions. I put in a bonus question based on the discussion I had with Scott this morning. So there's going to be 21 questions. And speed does count. The quicker you correctly answer a question, the more points you will get. I don't know how that works. It's magic, but that's how it does. So the faster you do it, the more points you get. There is a small short tape delay. It's really only a couple seconds, I think. So if you have the question, if you have your phone out with the app on it or whatever it may be, you will see the questions on there probably quicker than you're going to see them on the screen here. So if you really want to be fast, watch your phone for when the questions come up. The way we are doing this, this is CME Pop Trivia. So there will be 4 questions in each category. I'll give you the categories in a minute. Followed then by one pop culture question that I made up because CME and pop culture go together perfectly. The way it will work is I will read the trivia question twice. Then I'll advance and you can answer. You're going to have about 45 seconds. That might seem long for some of the questions. Some of them are lengthier, so it seemed like a good amount. If it's taking too long, we can always speed it up if we need to. We'll do that. There is a leaderboard on here, so when you enter your name into Poll Everywhere, I know it's fun to do nicknames, but just be aware that it might pop up on the screen. So if you do something inappropriate, it'll show up on there. It is very likely that this will not make it to the archive because I am playing music and I'm sure YouTube is going to flag it. So this may be a one-time experience for everyone. What's the last thing? I think that's pretty much it. What do we got next on here? Oh, yes. The prizes. There are prizes. First place gets $250 gift certificate. Second place gets a $150 gift certificate. And third place gets a $100 gift certificate. And thanks again to Haymarket as our prize sponsor. The Questionmasters. We have... I'll bring you full screen for this one just to be... If I can, let me find everyone. Okay, so our CME history questions are courtesy of Brian McGowan. There he is. Nice screen in the background. Chief Learning Officer and co-founder of Archimedics Inc. Our ACCME commendation criteria questions are from Scott Gorman, CME manager at Wills Eye Hospital. Our standards for commercial support questions are from Tricia Wilson, Educational Activity Manager at Optum Health Education. And our especially requested category from me, your editor's top pet peeves about your proposals, from my friend and former colleague, John Simmons, ELS. He is editor extraordinaire. I like to call him the cranky editor. He's fine with that. John did not, I made it optional if he wanted to join or not. John chose not to, totally fine. I think that is it for our, yes. All right. So give me 1 second as I need to bring up the actual questions, and we're going to get started here. This. All right. I need to pause this music because I have other special music. I even have a whole special playlist. All right, here we go. Scott, Brian, Tricia, you ready?
Ready.
Well, you can feel the excitement. Okay, here we go with our first question of the day. These are our CME history category. Thanks to Brian, there'll be 4 CME history questions. The first formal department of postgraduate medical education was established at the University of Michigan in what decade? The first formal department of postgraduate medical education was established at the University of Michigan in what decade? Was it the 1880s, the 1900s, the 1920s, or the 1940s? Please respond now. About 30 seconds. Anyone know the song, Tricia? Any idea?
Well, it's Kiss for sure.
There you go. Very good. Name of the song, anyone? Detroit Rock City? Detroit, University of Michigan.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Nice. Nicely done, sir.
Thank you. 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Very nice. 1920s is the answer. 48% of people got it. Brian, over to you. Anything you want to add to this?
100 years since we've been doing this in a formal manner, and people are still reluctant to standardize the definition of learner.
I see what you did there.
There we go.
Very nice. Very good. All right. Let's take a look at our leaderboard early on. Ooh, Allison. Look at the Allisons dominating the top of the charts there. Well, not really. They got the same amount of points.
It's also alphabetical.
I guess alphabetical. So that's, I guess, why the Allisons would dominate.
Not that Allison Kickle won't be on the top of the points list for the next 45
You never know. You never know. All right. Let's move on to question number 2. Put the following events in the correct order from oldest to most recent. I put them up here early so you get a read before I bring up the answer selections. Put the following events in the correct order from oldest event to the most recent event. So there's the first requirement for mandatory CME, the first man on the moon, the first blockbuster movie, and the first standards for CME. So make your selection. I'm not going to read all these to you. You can see what they are, but you got to put them in order. Oldest one first, most recent one last. And you can play along at home if you want to guess. No extra points for guessing the music, but sometimes there's audio clues. Sometimes there's not.
I got REM, Man on the Moon. I got that one.
Yeah, see what I did? Man on the Moon. Hey, not anyone who can do this. Trust me. All right, we got about 5 seconds.
I just added a LinkedIn recommendation for you and DJing.
Okay. Hold on here. Whoop. No response. Oh, 20% got the first. So it goes, the first requirement is for mandatory CME, then it was the first standards for CME, then it was first Man on the Moon, and then it was first blockbuster movie. Brian, do not say anything about what the first blockbuster movie is. That may come up again, but do you have any additional comments?
Sure. So mandatory CME 1947. Then we move forward, and I think this is what most people got a little bent on, is first standards for CME 1955. We're not talking commercial standards. The American Medical Association found in that year that only 1/3 of physicians had done fewer than 5 hours of continuing education credit, and they laid down the gauntlet, eventually moving forward to 1969, where there was a Man on the Moon, and then the blockbuster came years later.
All right. Let's look at our leaderboard. Brian McGowan in first place. Total cheating. He'll be kicked out soon. There we go. Oh, Allison Gickle has moved down. Apparently she did not get that question correct. That's a shame. You got to be fast. Hold on. I got a text here. What did it say? Brian shouldn't be able to play. You're getting hate mail from the...
I'm also getting text messages telling me that I'm cheating, but just remember how dumb I'll look when I lose the next 3 rounds.
I got you. Let me see if I can... You know what? I'm going to do something really quick to see if I can adjust the amount. So I'm maxing out 25. Brian, riff on something.
Sure. So that was the hard question, because that probably judged guessing and reading comprehension a lot more than it judged actual knowledge of those 4 things. And I intentionally tricked all of my accreditation expert colleagues, because they would immediately think standards for commercial sport. And that's because I have long begrudged everybody on the accreditation side of the CME profession, because you get way too much credit. I kid. And I'm continuing to riff, knowing that we have the next question up. Good job, Derek.
We have the next question up. I'm not going to lie, I don't know how to adjust it from 25. I didn't know it was cut off from 25. So this is even more of a reason to get your answers in quicker. I don't think actually it matters too much, because you got to get your answers in quicker anyway. Max is 25. Oh, thanks, Scott. Whatever. It's still fun. Answer, play along. You got to be in the top 25 to win a prize anyway. So here we go. So our third question, the organization, which would later become known as the Alliance for CME, was initially proposed at a meeting at the Princeton Club in New York City on the 12th of December. In what year? The organization, which would later become known as the Alliance for CME, was initially proposed at a meeting at the Princeton Club in New York City on 12th of December. In what year? 1960, 1968, 1974, or 1978. Make your choices now. Don't have to do it quick. All right. By the way, this song, since we have our results, I can probably move on once I see 25 are up there, since no one else can really respond. So this is Jungle Boogie, of course, by Kool and the Gang, which was in the year 1974. Ooh, the majority of people anyway got the answer correct. That is 1974. Brian, any additional comments from you?
Sure. A bit of a trick question here. The Alliance, we know, began in 1978, but Lou Miller, Dennis Wentz invited about 40 deans and heads of programs to an invitation-only meeting at the Princeton Club, where they said, maybe we need an organization to support this mandatory CME movement. And so that's the organization that would later become known as the Alliance 4 years later.
Got it. So done. Looking at our leaderboard. Sandy zooms into the lead, followed by Jackie. Brian in third, because he's not going to play anymore. So he's
not playing anymore.
Like a rock. So nicely done, everyone. Moving on to our last question on our CME history category. Moore's outcome framework was originally proposed and published in what year? Moore's outcome framework was originally proposed and published in what year? 1993, 1998, 2003, 2008. Make your selection now. Well, this will take people a little bit longer to respond to. Anyone who's Scott? Who's singing? I put him on the spot.
I don't even know.
It's fine. This is, of course, Beyonce and Jay-Z. And
right.
you put see, it was at the tip of your tongue. Of course, this song came out in 2003. Oh, look at that! Look at that, Brian. I don't know how you feel about this.
You know what? We have a little bit of a trick question here as well. I didn't make it 2009 because that would have confused people because that's when it was published in JSEP. But if you go back to 03, the book chapter, we all have this book hanging around. This is the infamous Continuing Professional Developments for Research. From research to practice, and we've all read chapter 13 many, many times. This book came out in 2003. But the trick question is that Don actually proposed his outcomes model in 1998. But 2003 is where the credit's given because he didn't have all the details laid out. And that's all I have for Don Moore's outcomes framework.
Very nicely done. I just pulled that off my bookshelf the other day. So what a...
It's actually, I just pulled it from underneath my monitor. That's how I get my monitor to stay at the perfect eye height. I have 3 copies of it, and that's how my monitor stays right at eye height.
Thank goodness for large books. Looking at our leaderboard, we still got Sandy and Jackie at the top 2 spots. Looking good. Sad news that Brian's still in 3rd place. Come on, people. Gotta pass him there. All right. So that brings us to our first pop culture trivia question developed by me. And question number 2 of this round of trivia, there was reference made to the first blockbuster movie, which was released in 1975. Name that movie. And question number 2, reference was made to the first blockbuster movie, which was released in 1975. Name that movie. Your choices are The Towering Inferno, Jaws, Rocky, Star Wars. Towering Inferno, Jaws, Rocky, Star Wars. Everybody know this answer? Don't say it. Yes, no, think you might know, no idea. Brian's kind of got his hand. All right, well, we'll see. We got our 25 responses in. 84% of the people knew that it was Jaws. That is correct. In 1975, Philadelphia Freedom by Elton John, also in 1975. Each of these movies was the top-grossing movie of the year. Towering Inferno was in 1974. Jaws was 75. Rocky was, of course, 1976. Glad no one picked that. Star Wars was 1977. All right, look at our leaderboard. Has there been any movement? Oh, look at that. Jackie into the lead. Big news. Brian, you have dropped out. I'm sorry to say. No, you're out of the leaderboard. So we got Jackie, Sandy, and Deb G in the top 3. This is a vicious competition. All right. Time to move into our ACCME accreditation commendation, what criteria, whatever. What's it called? ACCME commendation criteria section. Woo. With Scott. Here is our first question. Which two commendation criteria had at least 95% compliance from 2017 to 2019 cohorts? Which 2 commendation criteria had at least 95% compliance from 2017 to 2019 cohorts? Oh, I said the wrong button. Here are your choices: C23 or C24, C32, C33, C34, and C35, C37, and C38. Although, I think I would get this one. I mean, I know I saw the answers and everything, so obviously I would get it. But I think even before that, but we'll see. All right, looks like we have our 25 results in. Let's go to the answer board. The correct answer, oh, very nice. C34, support CPD for CME team, and C35, demonstrates creativity, innovation, is the correct answer, and the majority of people got that, but a nice spread there. Scott, any comments from you?
I would say the one thing is there's also another more information that came out from the ACCME recently that mentioned about the CME program implementing their innovations and creativity, meeting the needs, the evolving needs of their learners, and really focusing on the evolving needs of learners. So it can't just be like a website, it has to be like really evolving needs.
Very good. Let's move on to the leaderboard. Very exciting. See what's happened. Any movement? Jackie's still at the top, followed by Sandy and Deb G. Good work. Let's move on to the next one. Question number 2. According to the ACCME, there are three common reasons for non-compliance with the menu of commendation criteria. Which of the following that's going to come up was not listed as one of them? So according to the ACCME, there are 3 common reasons for non-compliance with the menu of commendation criteria. Which of the following was not listed as one of 3 common reasons for non-compliance? Okay, here we go. Did not address all critical elements in each example submitted. Did not submit examples for the entire set of all 16 commendation criteria. And did not submit the number of examples. And did not submit evidence of compliance with the criteria. And you can read through these. Oh, see, you can tell this is a tricky one because it's taking longer for the whole 25 to come up. I can tell you this is an audio clue. No one will know what it is, but it's an audio clue. Any guesses? Nope, looks like we got our 25. This is True by Spandau Ballet, which is from the soundtrack to... Anyone? 16 Candles? 16...
Gosh, I should have known that.
See? Oh, the 40, again, 44. I am impressed these people know this. That is just pretty good. I never would have gotten this one. Correct. So anyway, over to you, Scott.
So yeah, the main thing is to submit 7 and then 1 from the outcomes. And also just for letter A, did not address all critical elements. The ACCME is really saying, if there's 4 critical elements, it has to meet all 4. If there's only 2, it only has to meet those 2, but it has to meet every single critical element that they have in each of the criteria.
Got it. Great. All right. Moving on to question. Whoop, nope. We're going to look at our leaderboard first. Any movement? Oh, no. Look at that. Amber Carter moved up to 2nd. Jackie is dominating a top spot. She's been there for a while. And Groupie making a move up to 4. All right. BD moves it right. I got it. Business development. Okay. Moving on to question number 3. Does attending an online ACCME webinar, what about CME Palooza webinar, Scott? ACCME webinar meet the compliance expectations for C34, support CPD for CME team? Does attending an online ACCME webinar meet the compliance expectations for C34? This is a simple yes or no, 50-50 chance. People, this is going to go quick. Oop, still get your answer in, still got time. Uh-oh. One more, we got 24, one more person. Bang, 25. All right, let's look at our answer. Oh, nice. Wow. Oh, man, 12% with no, 88% yes. This is the class. Should I stay or should I go? What should it be, Scott? What are your follow-up comments?
So, yes, the attending an ACCME seminar would be part of that, but there are also other critical elements of that criterion, including the description of the implementation of a plan based upon the needs assessed of the CME team overall. So it includes other requirements as well.
All right, that was a tricky one. Let's see the leaderboard. Has there been a shakeup? Oh, moving on to the top. Sven Awaji, let's go with that, from Pure Voice, bursts into the lead. Wow. Very impressive. Brian, what?
It's terrifying.
Worst background ever. Worst background ever. This was a mistake. Okay. Moving on to our final question about commendation criteria. Question number 4. For C36 demonstrates improvement in the performance of learners. Which of the following examples does not show compliance? So for C36 demonstrates improvement in the performance of learners. Which of the following examples does not show compliance? I'm not going to read these out loud because that's a lot of words. So I'll give everyone a moment to read through them, look at it on your phone. This will give lots of time for people to respond.
How are there already people answering it? I haven't read the first one yet.
Hey, we are a very intelligent community, and some people are really quick.
Do we have any evidence that Scott didn't log in as another name? A fair question. This one is taking people a little longer. You got about 10 seconds to go. You still have time to get an answer in. Sven,
to the wire. What's it exciting?
Our friend on the leaderboard just connected to all of us through Twitter.
Well, they should have. Here we go. And the correct. Oh, very nice. Provider shows that it measured change of learners when they self-reported in a request for credit survey. Change of learners. David Bowie changes playing. See what I did? 33%. Most people got it right. Scott, final comments.
That's right. So the other thing with this criterion with C36 is that the ACCME says that majority of the learners who respond to performance change, for example, performance change in a survey, must improve their performance. So the majority of them must improve their performance in order for it to be compliant.
Great questions. Thank you very much. Let's look at the leaderboard. Who we got? Oh, Sven's still at the top. BD Schmoozer making the move up to the top. Jackie is falling. Come on, Jackie. Get it together. Amber Carter down to 5th. Sad state of the field. And here we go. I like that. That's a good one. On to our second pop culture question of the day. Last week, the last week of September 2020, Taylor Swift passed this singer for the most weeks at #1 by a woman on the Billboard 200 album chart. I'll read that again. The last week of September 2020, Taylor Swift passed this singer for the most weeks at #1 by a woman on the Billboard 200 album chart. Was it Madonna, Mariah Carey, Adele, or Whitney Houston? Brian McGowan, favorite Tay-Tay song?
This one.
Oh, well, there you go. This was easy. Oh, wow, people responded quickly. We already got our 25. That's too bad. I want to listen to the song a little longer. Let's see who it is. Anyone have a guess from the panel? Anyone want to guess before I move?
Whitney.
And the correct answer is Whitney Houston. Ooh, 52%. Nice job, everyone. Whitney Houston had been the previous holder. Let's go to our leaderboard and see how good people are at both. Uh-oh, Sven. BD Schmoozer moving to the top. That's impressive. It was cumulative, not just for one song. So it's the most amount of weeks in their career. I got a question on that. Okay. Moving into category 3. Everyone's favorite category, the standards for commercial support. From Tricia. You're laughing at everyone's favorite standards for commercial support. Mm-hmm. Where can exhibits be located during a CE program? Where can exhibits be located during a CE program? In the back of the room where the educational sessions are taking place, in a separate room location from the accredited education, in the only hallway leading into the room, wherever the commercial interest wants them to be. They're paying for it. That's right. I mean, you can pick that one if you want to, I shouldn't say. All right, we have a 25. Anyone know the song? It's The Offspring, Come Out and Play, otherwise known as You got to keep them separated. Oh, look at that. Wow. Smart people.
Smart people and easy question.
Yes. Over to you, Trish. Any additional comments you have on this one?
No, I just tried to give you guys some easy questions on some really dry subject
Hey,
matter.
it is good. How dare you? Yes, thank you for that. It's good to have a nice mix of questions. All right. Well, let's see. The leaderboard should be, I guess, by speed. No movement on the top. BD Schmoozer still, substantial lead at this stage. It's impressive. All right, moving on to question number 2. The ACCME standards for commercial support were first developed in the ACCME standards for commercial support were first developed in 1992, 2004, 2005, or 2014. This is an audio clue that no one will possibly know, but I'll just tell you anyway. Audio clue. I can't even see what that is. Is that Graham? All right. We have our 25 results in. This song is by the band Butcher Brown, and the name of the song is 1992. 56%. We did trick a few people. No one knew it was 2014. If anyone had said 2014, automatic disqualification, I think.
Yeah, I would think
Any
so.
additional comments from you, Tricia, on this one?
Nope, I have nothing.
All right, very good. 1992. Let's take a look at our leaderboard. Oh, Sven, not good. Big drop. BD Schmoozer still in the lead. Jackie with a big leap, and Deb G up to the top again.
Nice.
It's a lot of action at the top of the leaderboard here. Brian McGowan down low anymore. Probably not there. All right, our third question for our standards of commercial support. What is not considered a relevant financial relationship as defined by the standards of commercial support 2? Which of these that's going to pop up here is not considered a relevant financial relationship as defined by the standards of commercial support 2? Owning stock in a commercial interest that is supporting the CME activity, serving on an MOC test writing committee for a medical specialty board, receiving an honorarium from a commercial interest for presenting on a similar topic at a dinner meeting 6 months ago, or a spouse partner is employed by a commercial interest that produces a medical device that is used in the treatment of the CME topic. Still have two choices left for people. Oh, here we go. 25. This song is Money by Michael Kiwanuka. I thought that was appropriate.
Perfect.
It's 72%. Not everyone, though. Serving on an MOC test writing committee for a medical specialty board is the correct answer. Trisha, any additional comments from you?
Nope, very nice. I just want to say that the dictionary session that was earlier today talked a little bit about this. So if you want to go back to the archive and listen to that, I think that's a good place to
nice.
start.
That is cross-advertising. Well done, Trisha. Thank you.
Nice little plug.
Yes. That was a great session, by the way. That was a lot of good information in there.
Very
Archive
nice.
is already up, so feel free to take a look at it already. Leaderboard. Oh, the top 3 remain the same. Sandy just behind. Let's see if she can make a move. And this is our 4th one. Yeah, so our last one on the standards of commercial support. By which of the following can you not determine if an organization is a commercial interest? By which of the following can you not determine if an organization is a commercial interest? By determining if the organization produces, markets, or resells, or distributes healthcare goods. Determining if the organization's parent company produces, markets, resells, or distributes healthcare goods. Looking at a list on the ACCME website. Determining if your organization advocates for an ACCME defined commercial interest. Which one? Little hall notes. Everyone, one more response left.
I get it.
What? What's the song, Brian? Anyone?
Your Kiss is on my list?
Yes! Looking at a list on the ACCME website. Very good. Trisha, any follow-up on this one?
No, I wish there was a list, but there isn't. So it does make it a little more difficult for people sometimes to ascertain the answer to this one. But
So your wish is for a list.
my wish is always for a list. Yeah.
There we go. Very good. Thank you for those 4 questions on the standards of commercial support. Those were great. Moving on to question number 3 of our pop culture questions. Here we go. Oops, I forgot to do the leaderboard. Uh-oh.
Close.
In developments, Deb G is making her move. BD Schmoozer, you better time to step up. I hope you know your pop culture, because here we go.
It's like microseconds faster right now.
Yep. Who replaced David Lee Roth as the lead singer of Van Halen in 1986?
Oh, come on.
David Lee Roth. I had to get some easy. This may not be easy for everyone, Trisha. Who replaced David Lee Roth as the lead singer of Van Halen in 1986? Hold on. There we go. Was it Daryl Hall, Gary Sharon, Sammy Hagar, or Dr. Brian McGowan? No spoilers, Brian. No spoilers. Everyone's got to guess.
I'm getting LinkedIn messages, text messages, and Facebook messages answering the questions, but they're not using everywhere.
Do they know who
They are correct. Someone just got very quickly through LinkedIn the right answer.
Let's ask were you ever the lead singer for Van Halen?
I could never kick high enough. They didn't let me in.
So everyone's responded. This is, of course, Panama by Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen recently passed away last week. Rest in peace. Eddie Van Halen. The correct answer, very good. I was a little worried. See, it's a tough one. Like, do you go for the joke answer and maybe drop in your standings? 88%, it was Sammy Hagar. Daryl Hall of Hall & Oates, who we just heard, apparently was offered a position as the lead singer for Van Halen. That would have been very strange. Gary Sharon from the group Extreme actually was a lead singer for Van Halen. We don't talk about those years.
Is that the hole in the heart, Bruce? You got a hole in your heart that can only be filled by me? Is that Extreme?
Not their most popular song. That would be More Than Words. But yes, they also sang that song. All right. Looking at the leaderboard. Any changes? No. All right. We keep our same top 3. Well done, everyone.
PCAP's making a rise. PCAP's coming up from nowhere.
Oh, look at that. Oh, right. You're right. Amber Carter's sort of fallen a little bit. It looks like maybe PCAP making a run. It's pretty close at the top here, so who knows? It's anyone's ball game. Okay. This is our last category. Oh, we're doing good on time. This is the one. So John Simmons, not here, but he gave me very extensive notes on his responses, so I do have things to read. So I will be running all of them, but I'll be answering these. And these are your editor's top pet peeves about your proposals.
Derek, real quick. I just got an update from DraftKings. You can get a BD Schmoozer and group teaser. You can go with an exacta there, and it's paying 40-1.
I am the only one here who has any idea what you were talking about. All right, let's move on to our first. And these are obviously your grant proposals. Here's your first question. Your editor flagged this text in the faculty section of your migraine proposal. Invited faculty will have expertise in IBD care as demonstrated through academic appointments, publication history, and presentations at national conferences. Why? Why did they flag this? I'll read it one more time. Your editor flagged this text in the faculty section of your migraine proposal. Invited faculty will have expertise in IBD care as demonstrated through academic appointments, publication history, and presentations at national conferences. Why was this flagged, or which is the most the best reason for why it would be flagged? Oh, I forgot music. I didn't read the answers, but you can read them on there. This is, of course, Rockwell. Someone's watching me, because isn't that what we feel like when we have an editor looking over our shoulder? You know what I'm doing. 24 responses. One more. That is 25. I'm very curious to see if people get this one right. So let's look and see. Yes, very good. The proposal in question relates to migraine, not IBD. This is what John has to say. This is a reference to the pitfalls of not working from a generic template when creating a proposal. So I get it. No one has time to create or work from a generic template. We don't have time to work from a blank template, you say. We'll get rid of all the old text, you say. Except how often do we say that and then forget to do it? There's always the leftover description of room size limitations for your web-based activity or the detailed account of the audience generation plan targeting neonatologists for your activity on low T. Or in this case, the commitment to assemble the best possible faculty from a therapeutic area completely unrelated to your topic. Use your templates, your generic templates. Do not take from your old ones.
Derek, if I can add, if any supporters receive proposals in Word documents, go up to info, click additional info, and see where the template actually began. And you'll quickly understand that the editing is not just superficial, but it has to be very, very deep.
There you go. One of the reasons I asked John to do this is because he's the first editor I ever worked with at a CME company, and it was amazing the things that I learned from him. Okay. So leaderboard and Groupie with a move up into third place. Nicely done. And well done.
The exact is looking good.
All right, let's move on to question number 2. Which of these gaps is most likely to prompt your editor to come back to you with the request to modify or replace it? Which of these gaps is most likely to prompt your editor to come back to you with the request to modify or replace it? I will let you read these yourself because my voice is starting to go. After a long day of talking, I'm not gonna lie, this is it's a tricky one, but it makes sense. Hey, this one, we'll get to go through the whole 45 seconds, I bet, on this one. I'm gonna see. Might even get up to 25. We're like, what? Is it an audio clue? Maybe. Maybe. Brian, big Britney Spears fan, Brian?
All stages of Britney, especially the crazy one.
There we go. We already got the 20. Not everyone can respond. This is, of course, Toxic by Britney Spears because the answer is clinicians may not be aware of recently developed toxicity profiles and management strategies for adverse events specific to disease X treatment. Here is the reasoning behind it. Clinicians may not be aware of this new thing, after all. So I'll even concede they aren't aware of it. But so what? What's important isn't what these clinicians don't know. It's what the implications for the quality of the care their patients receive. If a clinician doesn't know about new drug X, but her patients are still doing fine with Y, is there really an educational need? But if new drug X has shown to improve outcomes faster than old drug Y, then clinicians who don't know about new drug X are not going to be using new drug X. And their patients are not going to benefit, and that's your gap. Specify how and why new drug X is an improvement and cite the studies making those claims. Also, yes, there is such a thing as in Wonderland in your Google search for once you're done with CME Palooza. 25% got it. So might be some movement on the leaderboard. Let's look. Oh, BD Schmoozer takes the fall. Deb G to the front and into second place. How amazing. I can't believe what I just saw. Or isn't that the quote? Anyway. Oh, moving on to question 3. You've taken the activity description from your magnificently written, recently approved grant to use as the overview for the final activity, but your editor isn't having it. Why not? So you've taken the activity description from your grant and you want to use it as the overview for your final activity. Your editor says, no way, not. Here are your choices: the grant description and the activity overview. The grant and the overview have different objectives. The grant is too long to make a decent overview. Your editor is still cranky, and all of the above. Can anyone name one of the characters from Different Strokes?
Mrs. Garrett.
It's Mrs. Garrett in Different Strokes. Facts of Life.
And then?
We're old. Okay. 25. And the answer is... yes, this is not really a trick question, but I did give credit for 2 different answers. I did give credit for... yes, Willis. Of course, Willis, Arnold. 32% said all the above. 44% said the first one. That's the most right, the first one, but I did give credit. All of them are sort of right, to be honest. So I gave credit for both. Let's go to John's description. The basic point here is that these 2 types of descriptions are written for 2 different audiences. So the activity description in a grant and an activity overview are both designed to sell the activity, but they are selling to different audiences with different interests, overlapping but different. So grant activity descriptions are written for review committees, who of course are looking out for the needs of the activity target audience, but they're also influenced by the interests of internal and external stakeholders like bosses, medical, legal, budget committees, educational designers, etc. And activity overviews, on the other hand, are written for the target audience and must highlight whatever the most compelling clinical issue is being addressed in the activity. So new drug, new treatment guidelines, trial data ripped straight from the PI's hands. Those are the more important things. So different strokes for different folks. Move on to our leaderboard.
So Derek, while you're doing that, did you know Facts of Life is a spin-off from Different Strokes? Mrs. Garrett?
This I did know. I do believe Mrs. Garrett made an appearance on Different Strokes, if I'm not mistaken.
She was the original housekeeper, and then she took the job at the boarding school, and that became the Facts of Life spin-off.
There we go. Makes sense. This is the important information that the people need to know. Forget about standards of commercial support. We need Facts of Life trivia. Okay. So looks like we still got Deb G at the top. Moving on to question number 4 of your editor's top pet peeves. This is a straightforward editing question. How many errors are in this passage? The goals of the activity are to aid clinicians in helping patients lose weight, eat healthier, and exercise oftener. The activity will be awesome. How many errors are in this passage? 3, 4, 5, or 6. How many errors in this passage? Everybody read. We got about 22 responses, a couple more to go. People are reading as quickly as they can. 2 more responses. Got about 10 seconds left. 1 more response. Here we go. That's 25. That is, of course, ABC. Whoa, by the Jackson 5, because there are 5 errors in here. What? Only 20%. Here are the errors. Some kind of a subject, verb, other thing mismatch going on here. So it says only one goal, quote unquote, aid clinicians is given. So it should be the goal of this activity is to aid clinicians. There's a word missing. It should be to help patients. There's a misspelling, of course. It is L-O-S-E, lose, not loose. I'm amazed how many people actually get that wrong. I see it all the time. Wrong part of speech. It should be eat more healthfully or maybe even more healthfully. And the 5th one is there's a made up word. Do we even have to point this out? But oftener is not a word. There are also 2 more things that we technically probably check on. The double space. Oh, I formatted this poorly. Sorry. He had a double space after the period. So that could be in there. This is the 1970s typing class. And the lack of the serial or Oxford comma in the list could also be one. But as John likes to point out, those are style choices. And having no style sense is sad and regrettable, but it is not an error per se. So we did not count those in errors. Only 20%. There could be some movement on the board. How are we doing on time? Perfect. Wow, it's like I actually do this. Let's take a look. No. Oh, Elizabeth Stockton with a move up to 4. Wow. Otherwise, pretty much the same. We now have 2 pop culture questions to go.
Just a reminder, we're paying 3 places, so that 3-4 line is critical here on the.
Very much 1, 2, and 3. This is it.
This would be the definition of a bad beat. If BD Schmoozer falls out of the 3rd spot, that's a bad beat.
No one has any idea. Moving in to our first one. On Sunday, LeBron James won the NBA championship with his 3rd different team. You know I had to put one sports question in here. With which team did he win his 1st NBA championship? On Sunday, LeBron James won the NBA championship with his 3rd different team. With which team did he win his 1st NBA championship? Was it the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Miami Heat, the Golden State Warriors, or the Los Angeles Lakers? Which team did he win his 1st NBA championship with? The Cavs, the Heat, the Warriors, the Lakers.
How'd you not put the Sixers up there?
Because everyone knows it's not going to be the Sixers. Everyone. No, maybe not everyone.
Everyone knows.
Hey, I don't know if anyone knows this. Probably not. Everyone on here from the Philadelphia area.
It's true.
I may have done that intentionally. Oh, this is taking a little while. So we're at 22. Still got 10 seconds to respond. You can get a response in.
Or we only have 22 people watching right now.
So no, there's more than that. I can see that. Oh, we move. Okay, there we're at. We're at the end. This, of course, is Basketball by Curtis and Blow. If anyone wondered. The answer is the Miami Heat at 57%. The Lakers, that's just who won it. Anyway, 50. Miami Heat is the correct answer at 57%. The Cavs were the first team he played for, but he went back to them to win his championship. All right, let's take a look at the leaderboard. This might be tricky. Ann, I'm sorry. Sad news. Down to 3rd place, but you have one more question in which to redeem yourself. And this is a bonus question that I added based on a conversation I had with Scott this morning because I was extremely disappointed in him that he did not know this. Here we go. Woo, I'm getting notices. Okay.
That's making a big jump. That's brilliant.
I don't know what this is. Hold on. Let's get rid of this. Okay. Here we go. Our last question. Everyone get ready. 4:52. That's pretty well timed. Last question. The bonus question is, who is the founder of Lollapalooza, the name for which CME Palooza is based? It will be multiple choice. Who is the founder of Lollapalooza? Before I move on, don't say the answer. Does anyone on the panel know this answer?
I believe I do.
No. Oh, Trisha does. Do not say. I will ask you. Here we go. Oh. So your choices are, as the founder of Lollapalooza, Bruce Springsteen, Flea, Tori Amos, or Perry Farrell. Bruce Springsteen, Flea, Tori Amos, Perry Farrell. Scott did not know this, which of course was great disappointment. It forced me to add this into CME Pop Trivia, our inaugural edition.
Assuming this is on the intern application moving forward.
It will be from now on, now that I know.
It should be.
Well, we'll see how people respond to this one. We got 5 seconds left. There's one slot still open. We have 24, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The song, as Jane says, by Jane's Addiction. The lead singer of Jane's Addiction is Perry Farrell. 58%, pretty good. I'm impressed. Trisha, did you know the answer? I forgot I was going to ask you first.
I did indeed. I have been to many a
There you go. The founder of Lollapalooza, Perry Farrell, the namesake from CME Palooza that we blatantly ripped off for this. So this is a big moment. Here we go. This is the final leaderboard. We're going to see what happens. Here we go. Any movement? And moves into second. Wow, Deb G, nicely done. What a commanding lead. Look at that. In front. Pretty amazing. Deb G and Groupie. BD Schmoozer in 3rd place. What happened to Sven? He was up there and then he was gone.
Derek, can I donate a book to PCAP for coming in 4th since I have so many of these?
Sure, you can send it. I don't know if PCAP wants it or not, but let me move on. Hold on, I have to bring up slides so I can do this. Okay. If you won, please send me an email because I don't necessarily know who you are other than Ann. You can hit me up at the cmeguy@gmail.com. I guess you could text the line too and let me know. And we'll figure out how to get your prizes to you. But the top 3, please make sure you let me know who you are. Otherwise, I don't know. We'll move on to our last one. I don't think Scott came on here. Let me look here. Doesn't look like he's on. Fine, I'll end this myself. So to end with, we do have our survey. Please take our survey. It's on the live page, down at the bottom. 7 questions. It will not take you very long. We do use your feedback for developing our new sessions. Let me bring us up to a fuller screen. Thank you very much, Scott, Brian, and Trisha for indulging in my ridiculousness. Oh, look, hold on. Let's bring him in. He just came. I can't get him up here for some reason. Scott, I see you, but I can't bring you up because of my dumb computer. Hold on a second. I'm going to hide you guys. Thank you all, and then I'll bring Scott up. Thank you all for coming and for all your work. I appreciate it. I can get you out of here. I can't get this thing to go down to bring Scott up. Well, anyway, so I'll just end it because I can't get these guys to go off and I can't get Scott's screen to come up. Hi, Scott. Oh, there we are.
Yay!
I got you. You would think I've never done this before.
Yeah, I was about to say we had a flawless technology day.
Flawless technology. I couldn't get to the bottom because you came onto the bottom.
Yeah.
Get it to come up.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're all done. Well, any closing comments from you?
No, I mean, thanks as always to all of our panelists. It's always nice kind of having such a cross section of people from so many different parts of the CME world kind of offering their thoughts. So thank you to everybody who participated. Thank you to everybody who watched. And thank you to Derek's wife for agreeing to put up with him for another 6 months.
Yeah, every year I have to say that. Yes, thank you, everyone. It went really smoothly, I have to say, at least as far as the technical side of things, other than me not being able to bring up but it can be worse for sure. Sorry that I didn't realize you could only do 25 people in trivia, but it still worked. You have to answer quickly anyway. You weren't going to win. So I think it was fine. Other than that, I think we're good. Thanks, everyone, for putting up with us and for participating. Archive sessions are already up and available. Just go to the agenda page and you'll be good to go. Otherwise, I think that's it. Until the spring, Derek and Scott signing off.